Well, made my way in strong headwind today and finally made it to camp to finish my 40-kilometer round trip rescue mission in which I'm rescuing buck. One of the things the park literature says is that you got to be self-sufficient when you're on the Cloche Silhouette Trail, and that's exactly what we had to do. You know, before you go on a trip like this, you got to think, okay, what's the worst case scenario? I'm coming in here with my baby, you know, but I just have to have that confidence that if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be able to mount a mission to, you know, fix things. So we're going to pack up here. This is still the backpacking site we're at. Showing up and having a hot coffee and some oatmeal was kind of a welcomed thing when I finished my mission. And Tori actually is just thriving out here. The baby was fine. We're going to be on Lake of Three Narrows for a couple days, and then we have a long string of portages to finish our trip and get out of here in 3 days from now. So yeah, we're going to get to explore some time at Lake of Three Narrows. Our trip's still not going to be easy because that portaging to get out of here back to George Lake is not easy. It's a very, very long lake, so we're going to camp at the far end of it tomorrow and pick 2 different sites. Just paddling past the edge of a shoal and had a nice bass on, put up a great fight. And then right before it got to the boat, I tried to land it by grabbing the line. I'm using 8-pound mono, and the line just snapped and it got away. Kind of a bummer. I just didn't want to swing it onto the boat and like put it right on top of Wesley or on top of the dog. So anyways, lost a nice one, but awesome. Good to get a little action. Cross jaw, cross jaw. So this is home for the night. What's this? Camped here on Lake of Three Narrows. Gorgeous site. Beautiful ridge line in the background, and Tori and I might hike up there to get a view of the lake. Tori's just getting some wood. I'm going to set up the tent and we're going to get settled in on our new site. Both of us are feeling pretty bummed, to be honest with you. We're so looking forward to this Cloche Silhouette Trail backpacking trip. We had it planned since the spring, early spring, cool, and all the little campsites, some of our most desired places to visit in the park, and views of the north side and everything. So both of us are pretty disappointed, but you know, what can you do, right? I mean, this is what happens sometimes, and part of being out here is once in a while you have to be able to switch gears and do what makes the most sense and what's the safest. So yeah, we're pretty upset, and we're just thinking next year Wesley's going to be too small to walk it still, and he's too big to carry, and you know, it's kind of our last chance to do it with him along for a few years. So we kind of feel like we missed our window, and we're pretty bummed, but we're trying not to think of that. We're at a gorgeous spot. Yeah. We're surrounded by beautiful Killarney forests and quartzite mountains, and a beautiful lake with great fish. I already had a great fish on, and we're going to really enjoy ourselves.
For lunch, we're dipping into our dinner of mac and cheese. Technically, I mean, it's not really KD, it's the KD sauce. You can buy it at Costco.
Is it the sauce or the powder?
Sorry, it's the KD powder. You buy it at Costco, huge thing of it, and we just dump it into a Ziploc and then just bring macaroni.
Let me see it, hold it up. KD powder. Genius. Oh, I just wanted a tight shot of it.
Delish. Ready? Mm-hmm. Want some?
So we have packed up, organized camp, stashed our food in the woods, and we are about to head out. It's the evening. It's maybe about 10 to 6. basically we're gonna hike up to the Cloche Silhouette Trail. So we're just gonna follow a dry creek bed, and here, because the hills are so big, it's almost like mountain country. Late in the season you get these creek beds that are all just exposed boulders that you can just walk right up. We're gonna hit the Cloche Silhouette Trail and go up a really steep hill, and then get a beautiful view, hopefully, of all of Lake of Three Narrows, and then hopefully make it back in time before it's dark. Of course, we're prepared that, you know, if we don't make it back in time before dark, we have our headlamps and survival gear and map and all that kind of stuff, and compass. But I don't think it's going to be an issue, and going at this time, I think it's going to be really nice lighting if we get up there quickly. It's going to be pretty beautiful, so at least we're going to get to experience some of this part of the trail that we missed, and come back to enjoy our beautiful campsite. So we got to jump in the boat, paddle about 300 meters, and get out and basically bushwhack for a bit till we pick up this creek. So it should be an interesting little adventure. Buck has to stay. Buck, you got to stay and get rested up, buddy. Good boy. Got a lot of portaging to get you out of here still. Tori's a little panicked that we're cutting this too close and that it's gonna get dark. She might be right. We will see. Oh yeah, this beaver dam's here. Oh. Unnecessary bushwhacking, yeah.
Or maybe we just have to come in when it's further to the left.
Let's keep going.
This is the trail that people take.
Okay, and we've rendezvoused with the Cloche Silhouette Trail.
Oh.
Tori, what are you concerned about right now?
That took us 15-20 minutes.
Let's say 20 minutes, yeah.
So I say we just keep our eye on the time and know that this part takes us 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And see how long it takes us.
Yeah, me and Tori were both saying how much more scared we are about all this stuff when we have a baby. Like, look, we have this little munchkin to take care of. Hey, bud? He's half now. He's asleep. Yeah, he's out. He just fell asleep. It's one thing where me and Tori bushwhacking at night, and you know, we want to try to avoid that, but that's okay. We can handle that. But when we have a baby, it's just like this other whole realm of fear. But yeah, so basically, we bushwhacked up this creek bed to the Cloche Silhouette Trail, and now we're gonna go up, and up to get a view of Lake of Three Narrows. Tori, show me that little doohickey. What is that thing?
So I have a little mirror. If you go on this side, maybe you can see him in the mirror.
Oh, I missed the trail. Hey, Tor?
I know.
Brighter in here, eh?
Much.
Yeah, kind of. It's just a bald.
Yeah.
I love this part, eh? Feels like we're in California or something.
This water's way too long, struggling to like lift them up above me.
This is the final ascent. It's 10 to 7. How long is it taking us to get here?
10 to 7. We left at probably 10 after 6.
We left at 10 after 6. 45 minutes?
Yeah.
So we should be okay. We should be getting back to camp pretty much right at dark. Yeah. But fortunately, it's a really easy route to travel because it follows a well-worn trail, and then can't miss it creek bed. But at the very end, near the mouth, it's a total bushwhack.
I remember that being like that.
Okay, so you know things get interesting when the trail markers go like this, straight up. Want to do the honors?
Sure.
Tori noticed that Wesley sleeps when she's going straight uphill. I figured that's sort of a metaphor for parenting. Final push. We're not gonna have much time when we get up there. Oh, my ears are popping. Oh my goodness, look at that. This is incredible.
Beautiful.
Wow.
It was worth it.
Wow.
Over here.
Yes.
Look at this view.
Is it worth the hike?
It was worth the hike. It was only like an hour, if that.
Okay, ready?
You can't flip them like that.
Why not? Okay, hold on. You whip him to the side? I wasn't gonna do that.
How's that?
Like my bag, where I just like launch it on. All right, let's go. We're losing light.
Okay, how do we do careful? Wait, over here?
Yeah.
What it's like walking through all these trees. Coming down. Wait.
That's like really short. And we cut across way faster, eh?
Way faster.
We're about to...
It's getting darker out. You can still see, but it's that time when it's kind of a little difficult to see. You don't really see everything, so it can kind of be dangerous. You want to watch out for twigs at eye level, things like this. You know, harder to follow the trail, for example, but we'll be okay. We have headlamps. Super easy because it's just following the creek, so makes for a little bit of excitement trying to race the clock. Wesley's having fun, at least. I would have fun too if someone was carrying me on this roller coaster ride. Why does the lake look so far away?
Because it is. God, this seems a lot easier on the way back, eh? This bushwhack part?
A little bit. Right through the brush.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I can see the canoe. So, we did it. We timed it perfectly. We made obviously much better time coming down off the mountain than going up. And still got a few minutes before dark. We managed to squeak in an awesome hike and get to see everything with that golden hour glow that the evening brings. And a little stressful trying to make it back before dark, but we did it no problem, and short paddle back to our campsite. So awesome day.
He sounds so happy. He's so sweet. And there's the hike we just did.
Gonna do breakfast and run the stove on this side of our campsite on the beach here because there's no wind. On the other side there's a good amount of wind and it's cool, and it's gonna suck all the heat away from our pot boiling. So we're gonna pack up and camp again here on Lake of Three Narrows, but we're gonna push about I don't know, 4K roughly, and pick a new spot, camp in a deep bay that I've never been to before. Get some breakfast in us, pack up, and move on to explore a little bit more of this lake. Fingers crossed the weather doesn't go really bad. And today we're supposed to get some serious rains. They're supposed to last well into tomorrow. We're pretty bummed about that, but looking at the sky, it doesn't really look like it's about to hammer us with rain.
Wow.
Well, it's raining. Most things are packed up and ready to go, but we're just lying in the tent waiting for the rain to die down a little bit. We don't have very far to paddle today, but it would be nice to do it not in the rain. So we're just hanging out. Hopefully it dies down. It may not. We may have to get out into the rain and just suck it up and deal with it. So, but here we are to having a nice little lazy rainy day in the tent. So it stopped raining, so we're taking this opportunity to go. So Jim's out there packing the bags. Everything else is pretty much packed in here. But this guy just decided to fall asleep. So I guess we just pack everything around him basically and load the boat. And then try to move him. Try to keep him asleep, but doubtful.
So at this point we're glad that we waited for the winds to die and hung out in the tent, because it wasn't just raining, it was really windy, and the waves have not died all the way. So we're trying to paddle, we're trying to make it about 4 or 5 clicks, and we're dealing with some really strong headwinds, and we're just kind of right now hanging out in a little bay here hoping for the winds to die. And we think as soon as we round the next point they'll die down. It's nothing crazy, there's some chop, there's no big white caps, but it's very gusty and very strong. And just we want to be careful when we're paddling with the baby in the boat. Of course he has a life jacket too. He's sitting in this seat here, which is our backpack, but he's not strapped in.
Grab the tarp.
You should have put the...
Grab the tarp.
Get the other on the right side, eh?
Yeah. feel like I should have done this the other way around.
That's fine. What do you think I should set up the other tar?
Right here, right?
There we go. See that? Game changer. This little thing. See, look, see this? So it's cracking like that. So
Let's peel a little
sometimes you can just peel, like, but this is like long dead on the ground birch. That's all there was around here.
not working.
That is some wet ass birch bark, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Put another slab on top.
I don't really have many slabs.
Another big slab right on top.
I was gonna put it out.
Put it, lay it on top, yeah, like teepee style.
I'm gonna stick this birch bark in here.
Moving it around too much. It's gonna go out. It's done. It's done. Oh yeah, yes. No, again. Never easy when it's this wet.
The good thing is spaghetti cooks pretty fast, you know? It's actually pretty good.
I don't think I've ever just eaten a sun-dried tomato like this before. Oh, yummy. And what exactly is for dinner tonight?
Carbonara pasta. Carbonara mix. Super easy. Just pour the mix in. And the milk powder. And pour this in. Because now you just want it to simmer down till it's like a little bit thicker. The rock might be also hot too, right?
Mm. Constantly, eh?
Yeah, constant stirring. Put that. Okay, let me. This is a lot.
Yes.
Extra something to our dinner.
Mm.
Okay. It's all gonna fall out.
Oh, I'm so hungry, honey. Mmm. Nailed it. I think that milk powder makes a big difference, eh?
Yeah.
Buck. Oh, that buckaroo is trying to rip out the pig. Look at how dirty and wet you are.
Hi, Buck.
Good. Not a nice day here on Lake of Three Narrows, people. You can't tell from here because I'm blocked, but the rain is coming down 45-degree angle at least, and it is windy as hell. The winds have switched up. They're coming from the west, which means to paddle back to the portage trail. We're again going to be paddling into blasting headwinds today. But anyways, yeah, we're just packing up and gonna take off. Hopefully we get a break in these winds that we could paddle without too much of a horrific headwind back to the portage trail to get into Killarney Lake. We'll see. It's going to be cold and scary and windy, but at least we can just hug the left shore the whole way. We don't have to cross anything.
He looks too peaceful.
So what do we do now?
He's like out. Like...
Arc'teryx makes this backpack. It's a 95-liter backpack. It's called the Bora 95. I understand they don't make them anymore because no one bought them because they're too big. And I still manage to find a way to pack it right full every time. We're going to be taking off today, so our trip's going to be a day shorter than originally planned, but that's all the interior canoe camping sites I could get. Today we have, how many K of portaging, Tori? 4?
Yeah,
I think we have about 4K of portaging, so we're a little worried about Buck, but we know that he's had a couple days rest because he's been hanging around in camp and we've been paddling him around everywhere. So we think he's going to be okay. We're just going to wait up for him, let him take his time.
And the portage is pretty flat.
And the portage is pretty flat too, thanks Tori. Yeah, it's like not nearly as up and down and arduous as the pig portage I did on the other side. Longer though. So you know, we're just going to keep an eye. We think he's going to be okay, and we think he'll get through it all right. That's sort of the only way out of here, so he has to. I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll have to bushcraft him a stretcher and get him out of here, like literally, but I don't think it's going to come to that.
Oh boy, it's chilly. It's chilly.
Pretty old phone booth still do. Put this in it.
Oh, this poor.
Whoa! Sun! Mr. Golden Sun, won't you shine down on me? Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. Stripping off some layers. Woo! How long do you think this is gonna last for, honey? Yeah? Look at the horrific rain cloud though. Oh my goodness, see how warm it is? It totally just changes everything when it's nice like that, eh? Come on, Buck, in the boat. In the boat, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh, that backpack has, well, that's not a long paddle, I guess. To the portage,
I have to hold the boat in, but it'll be okay.
well, I can hold the boat.
There you go, buddy, huh? Yeah, pretty good.
Tired.
Yeah, you nailed it though.
My hip is really hurting. So I think I've given up carrying the canoe, and by I think I mean I've definitely given up carrying the canoe. I just really had to make sure Jim was carrying enough, and I think he is. So
It's probably so true.
I've put it to the test, and yeah, she's carrying a lot. It's really spine compressing is a good way to put it, because the pack is really far too long for me, so it doesn't really rest on my hips. So that's my excuse, and I'm gonna go back to carrying Wesley, because that's way more fun anyways. So
lots of wild berries along the portage trail. Wesley. Boop. I'll cheer him up.
No, it's all just going down his shirt.
This is the last big hill. It flattens out for a bit and then we're there. Hell yeah. Whew. It's a long carry, man. But we split it up and took some breaks, and my back doesn't feel the best, but in the end, it's not the end of the world. We did it! Wow, it's kind of nice out.
That doesn't look too bad. All right, so we did it. We finished the 3-kilometer portage. We made it to Killarney Lake. Still a little windy. There's some white caps, nothing too crazy, nothing like yesterday, of course. So we're feeling pretty good.
We did it, eh, Tori? And in the end, it's never so bad, eh? As long as you take a few breaks. Go, Puck. Go on.
Good boy. Okay, down here. Oh! You're not gonna be able to push me in.
Look at that. That's like a serious cliff top. I think people do rock climbing, okay? Some blasting headwinds again crossing Killarney Lake. Tori and I just tucked into this little mini bay, almost like an eddy, to wait till those gales die down. Last stretch of our trip here, and we have George Lake. Now, if you remember when I was heading out in the canoe to go and meet Tori, I was paddling in a ripping headwind on George Lake. Now coming back the other way, I also have a ripping headwind. Just my luck. So I think it's about 3 kilometers, and me and Tori are just gonna go for it. We're just gonna put our heads down and beast paddle into the headwind. Doesn't look like the waves are too big. There is a stretch of cliffs where we wouldn't be able to get to shore, but more or less we're going to stay left and take a few breaks, and you know, before we know it, we should be back. But it's so close but so far kind of scenario right now. Okay. This is cool, eh?
Wow, we did it, honey.
We did.
Despite the nasty weather we had for much of our trip, we were still able to enjoy the beautiful scenery that Killarney has to offer. We completed 4 kilometers of portaging and battled headwinds on our last day to complete the trip. Buck was doing much better and even chased squirrels and carried a light pack for part of a portage. As we neared our endpoint, the clouds lifted and we completed the journey with a deeper understanding of the natural world and how to deal with the challenges it presents. Traveling in nature with Wesley struck a primal chord in us and bonded us deeper to our son. And although we faced some adversity, we still made fond memories that will last a lifetime.